Let us give thanks to he who walks behind the rows, who protects our crops.
The God of sacrifice. The God who walked on the face of the earth.
Let the harvest begin.
We are here at Flashback Weekends in Chicago with Courtney Gains. Hello, sir.
How you doing?
Now, we're covering Children of the Corn for our Stephen King retrospective this fall, but you've done so much. I didn't want to just introduce you as star of Children of the Corn because I've seen you in so many things, but it is the 30th anniversary of Children of the Corn. And looking back, can you believe the film has had this kind of longevity?
Yes, I always thought it was going... No, I'm absolutely kidding. Yeah, no, who would have known? It was my first project, John and I, so we had no clue that it would be haunting us for the rest of our days.
And you were telling us earlier that was your first feature film?
That's correct. I was 18, looking all of 15, and and it just, when the movie came out, it was very overwhelming because we got recognized, and kids would be crying and running to their mothers, and so it was quite an overwhelming experience.
Did you find yourself at all having to work against typecasting? I mean, you played evil and murderous so well in that.
Yeah, to some degree. I definitely, my motto in the 80s was to not do the same thing twice, and I think I actually had a pretty good run at doing that.
Yeah, I mean, The Burbs, Can't Buy Me Love, those were just a few years later.
Right, yeah. So, obviously, Can't Buy Me Love is a completely opposite character. And, even say Colors, playing a gangbanger. So I just tried not to do the same thing twice.
And looking back 30 years later, I mean, I know you probably talked Children of the Corn to death, but what is your enduring memory of that?
My memory I always remember is there's that scene where they hit the kid, and she has that dream sequence and the kid pops up on Linda Hamilton. Well, they actually snuck Jonah really under the sheet, and he jumped up and scared the crap out of her. That's my best memory.
When you interact with the fans at events like this, what is that like for you to see people who've been watching this film for so long and come up and may not realize you from other roles?
Actually, it's been great because I think that I was probably taking the whole thing too seriously, and what I've learned is horror fans really kind of have a tongue-in-cheek attitude about the whole thing, and it's really made it a lot of fun, actually.
What have you been working on lately that our listeners can catch up with?
A bunch of guest stars this year. I did A Switched at Birth, The Buns, The Perception, and then I'm doing a mini-series right now called Texas Rising. That'll come out in May, April of 2015. So that's going to be a big 8-hour mini-series.
Oh, wow, that's very cool. And you were telling me beforehand you were trying to work with something again with John Franklin?
Yeah, we just did a spec pilot thing called Horrified that's really spoofing John and I doing conventions. It's a complete comedy, so we're in the process of trying to get a deal on that right now.
Great, well, I hope to see it. So, Courtney, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
Come to NowPlayingPodcast.com each week as we review another film based on Stephen King's books and short stories.
This is the word of he who walks behind the rows.
We do this work for Shine Shadow.
At our sister podcast, booksandnachos.com, you can hear Arnie's reviews of the original Stephen King books and short stories on which these films are based.
You should look it up. You still remember how to read, don't you?
In the NowPlayingPodcast.com archives, you can find many more reviews of Stephen King films, including Maximum Overdrive, The Mangler, Sometimes They Come Back, The Lawnmower Man, Carrie, Salem's Lot, The Shining, and more. Find dozens of Stephen King movie reviews at NowPlayingPodcast.com.
Movies are filled with violence